Hello everyone, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. We are mid-mission, and don't let this relatively relaxed music distract you. We are mid-combat as well. We were ambushed. This was all a setup, betrayed, conspiracy, yada yada yada. If you want the details, why are you 16 episodes in? Go watch the last episode. You know, I number them for a reason. Anyways, we are locked in battle with Blitz. He has those. I have those two turrets. He has these two turrets, and he is over here. Let's get an ESP up. This is an attacker. Yep, that'll help. Let's try and get over to. He's probably gonna try and take our turrets. I'm hoping I can distract him. At least long enough that he does not take one. Oh! Nice! Cannot move. I literally locked him in place. That's sweet. Oh. Is he just going for an angle? Yes, okay, they can't. Well, mine can, but they don't really let theirs do it. So there's an extra turret for the meat suit people who are about to be back in action. He's got a lot of health. Let's try and have you work off his friendo here. Go ahead and kind of get behind a bit better of cover. Doesn't really help your aim at all. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Blitz is now alone. And he can move again. Yeah, and he just took that turret from us. Okay, so they can forget what I was saying before. Nice, good. That was very important to hit. Can I hit from over there? Ooh, worst chance. Give her a shot. Worth a shot. Probably gonna go back to the meat suit battle in a sec here. Yeah. Alright, good. We managed to get this turret. That's kind of an important one. And we kept at least one over there. Let's have you go join the turret. We're kind of banking on this one not being taken from us. There is a rigging expert, an enforcer, a drone, and a grenadier. Let's try and get that grenadier down. They can be pretty nasty. Can we get you back there too? Oh, we totally can. Didn't get the grenadier. Yeah, run around. That's totally a good use of your AP. Not bad. Oh, hello. Okay. How far can I get on 1 AP? Not super far. Really want this guy dead. Good. Okay, so now it's just me and him. That's what we want. Really glad we got that erosion off. Oh yeah, follow me. Totally. Great idea. I'm gonna get away. Ow, okay, that actually hurt. Well, let's undo that, shall we? Can we get another erosion on? We can, that's what I like to see. Get a little bit more ring around the rosy. Oh, hey, you're not allowed to summon more. That's rude. That's very rude, he's not allowed to move that far. How dare you? he's squishy. Hello? Thank you! Most of the turrets are mine, that's good, and the one that isn't can't really get us to where it is. Nice. Nice! Okay, please stop hurting me. I don't appreciate it. Oh, do I have an erosion on me? I might. I think I do. Good thing he doesn't seem too focused on actually activating any of these. Which one's the one that's not mine? No, it's this corner. Keep following me. Thank you. That's right. Taking you down, boyo. Ow. Stay in the open. Oh, you weren't supposed to get that. That was kind of an important one for us to keep. Nice. Ow, good hit. Can we just take this guy out? Oh, hell yeah. That's what we like to see. Do we get one more turn? Yeah. Complete the turrets. Plots is down and all 4 turrets are back under my control. Go to town, Chief. I've got you covered. Good job, man. Alright, so now it's just this last fella here who is kind of SOL, isn't he? You know what, here. If you move, let's try and do some heavy damage. Like that! Okay, are we good to leave now? I don't see any more hostiles. Oh, nope. Nah, dumbasses. You are walking into an area that is very unfriendly to you. As evidenced. Nice. Good shooting. Ow. Lol. One left. What are you? Captain, that makes sense. Let's try using some of these, seeing as we have access to them. Wow. Alright. What about one of these? Yeah, block fire, bitch. Oh no, she blocked fire! Whoops. I didn't mean to encourage you. prolong it all you want, this is not a fight you can win. Although I do admire the tenacity. Going down fighting. There you go. The gunfire dies down and the smoke clears. You and Hosenkamp find yourselves staring at one another across a room stacked with corpses. Well, that takes care of that. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take care of Mr. Grinder. He tosses something to you. Reflexively, you catch it out of the air. The object feels smooth and warm to the touch. It's the plastic box that Hosenkamp pulled out of the safe deposit box. My former employer won't be needing this anymore. Give it to your pal Blitz. I'm sure that he can find a use for it. Hey, alright! What does it do? Beats me. From the connections on the bottom, it looks like it was made to plug into a cyber deck. Beyond that, I'm as in the dark about the thing as you are. All I know is that Grinder wanted it. And that should be good enough for the red-haired disaster. Anyway, I've got things to do. I should go get to them. If I hurry, I can have Grinder dead in a dumpster and still get home in time to read the grandkids a story. What about plots? Never did like the man. I'll give him a chance to scurry away, let him get his hopes up for a day or two. And then I'm gonna chuck his ass into a wood chipper. I mean, I think we killed him. But, yeah. Good luck. Don't need it. But thanks anyway. He turns to leave. You did good, Shadow. You ever get tired of running the shadows, you come see me. I could find a place in my organization for a woman like you. I'll keep it in mind. So we exiting? Yeah, we good? We head now? Alright. Outies. The ride back to the Cruise Bosser is a lonely one. This train car smells a little better than the one you rode in on. It isn't great, but at least it doesn't leave you gagging. Still, things are looking up. You've helped Blitz pull himself out of hot water, and with any luck at all, you'll never have to set foot in Drogenkip again. After a long, boring trip, the car rattles to a stop. The doors slide open. You're home. Really like this theme every time I hear it. Like, it fades into the background after a few seconds, of course, but just that first little kind of riff intro, it's a vibe. Okay, so we got 2 karma out of that. We didn't really get any cash. We did get that little black box that Blitz was so hopped up to get. I don't know why I'm over here. I think we're good to just go. Yeah. Let's just head back to base, go talk to everybody. Dialogue needs to happen, plot stuff, plot stuff. Alright, Dante. Come hang. Alright, Paul, what do you have? As you step forward, the rest of your team falls silent. Amsel shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. Shadow, I have new information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. So you said over the comm. Go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of a highly lethal radioactive bioweapon appeared en route to a storage facility in Harry, Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfeld Manor. Yes, I know Dresden is a real place. It'll always be Harry Dresden because that's where I first heard the name. And Harry Dresden is my favorite book series. Well, that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The stories that you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. He gestures to a technical document on his computer's display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal? Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Oh god, it's been a while since I've done Dietrich. My apologies, man. I always have a rough time with you. Amstel clears his throat and reads aloud from the information on his screen. Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Here. I'm trying to do it at the same time, but I'm trying to look up monoclonal antibodies is straight up a thing. Monoclonal antibodies are man-made proteins that act like human antibodies in the immune system. There are 4 different ways they can be made and are named based on what they are made of. I wonder if that means insulin is a monoclonal antibody? Since it's a man-made thing. I'm not going to go into the whole big stuff now, but yeah, there's actually some links, so okay. Neat. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. Iger nods grimly. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the USAAS passed a unilateral ban on that stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Drek? Nothing good. Not much goes without saying. This development worries me, Shadow. It worries me greatly. Dragon's bioweapon, alright, good to know. That's the change we need to do. If the dragon is stockpiling bioweapons, we've got an even bigger problem than we thought on our hands. There is a moment of silence. Then, Dietrich speaks up. Well, in my book, this doesn't change anything. I mean, it ups the stakes if the Firewing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be. But we're gonna stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. Far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Amsel is slow to respond. Finally, he nods. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward. And that means that you must continue working toward raising Alice's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands, Shadow. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back out to the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Iger nods. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for the next run. Right, behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backward glance at Glory. If any of this has had an impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory. Let's go. Now, you never got back to me about Frau Müller. How did the meeting go? I accepted the job. Any ideas on how to tackle this? Yes, a few. Frau Müller has provided us with detailed information on the facility. I've vetted the information, and it seems to hold up. Based on this intel, I have formulated what I believe will be an effective strategy to bring down the building. According to Mueller's intel, the facility is extraordinarily well guarded. Whatever this Bloodline project is, the Azzies have spared no expense to defend it. I remember that being a pretty fun mission. The facility is patrolled by Az Technology's internal security personnel. On their own, they would pose a challenge, but I don't doubt that you could brute force your way through them. Unfortunately, they will not be on their own. Az Technology has purchased one of Knight Errant's more expensive security contracts as an additional line of defense. So kicking in the front door is out then. Amsel nods. I should say so. I have pulled some strings with an old contact of mine, and he's provided me with the address of a small software developer, OTK International. They write the firmware updates for Knight Errant's comm systems, and their defenses should be considerably weaker than Az Technology's. My contact has informed me that OTK stores an off-site hard copy of every firmware update it develops for data security purposes. My suggestion is this: you hit the offices of OTK International and reduce their computers to slag. In the interim, I will have the hard copy of their next update replaced with a compromised version. When OTK's next update goes live, our compromised version will be pushed out to Knight Errant. When you hit the Az Technology facility, I'll be able to track Knight Errant via their comlinks, and this should make the run much more manageable. He fishes in his pocket for something. A moment later, he produces a corporate ID with your face on it. And this will get you through the front door of the office park that contains OTK International. My contact was only able to provide me with the one card, so you'll need to let the rest of your team in through a side door. So this is basically like a side mission for the side mission. I mean, I guess there really aren't any main missions, so this is the closest to a main mission, but it's the side mission to a main mission, and it's optional. But of course we're gonna do it. Very good. OTK's offices aren't far from here. You should take the U-Bahn there when you're ready. Cool beans, Mon Capitan. Now, I believe I saw that we had one extra DVD. Soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. This is the one that she had to pull in a favor to get. Green Winters 2050-0428. God, I don't even remember what voice I gave you. This is it. The interview. Took some digging to find it, but here he is, my big brother, back in his prime. The note disappears, and for a moment, the screen goes blank. Suddenly, image of a news correspondent flashes onto the screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. Timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen reveals the date, August 22nd, 2012. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Sangarhausen, the fifth Harz Mountain town to be sacked by the dragon Fierschwingi. Standing by my side is the head of Dial Defense, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Dr. Vauclair has been hailed as a leader in the effort to bring down Fierschwingi and end her reign of terror. Dr. Vauclair, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Killing the monster has proven difficult, to say the least. Her speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. Her scales repel small arms fire, and her breath can melt steel. Our R&D teams have been working around the clock to devise a weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffle's attempt to shoot her down via conventional means. Herr Vauclair, why are you directing Dial's Defense's energies to the killing of Fierschwingi? Are there corporate interests at play in this? Corporate interests? No. This is a matter of human interest. Innocent lives are being extinguished at an appalling rate. I am in a position to help put an end to the slaughter, and so I must. It really is that simple. Dr. Vauclair, you must understand my skepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement. They came to us for the truth. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth on this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is in helping the people affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Vauclair, I thank you for sharing your valuable time with us. You are very welcome. To the viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming. I promise. Again, that was Dr. Adrian Vauclair, CEO of Dial Defense. Dr. Vauclair is the chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the dragon Fierschwingi. Stay tuned for more late-breaking news on the battle for the Harz Mountains. We'll be right back. With that, the video comes to an end. Green Winters again, 2054, 1117. Holy shit, I just stumbled upon some of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not gonna say how I came across these. Someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this. But I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting samples, and they're legitimate. Holy shit, this is big. Alright, okay, back up. Slow down, breathe. Takes a moment to calm himself. Okay, so these notes, they pretty much confirm something that I'd always suspected. The Loot Waffle didn't shoot down Flux-State. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her, and they lobbed rockets at her for months. Lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process. But none of those things were responsible for taking her down. The Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one that Adrian and his Dial Defense think tank designed. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit. But from what I can piece together, it looks like they designed some sort of chemical radiological agent that acts on the metagene. I don't think they fully understood what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they understood why it worked. Anyway, when a warhead full of this stuff comes into contact with a dual-natured creature, like dragons, say, it drives a wedge between that creature's physical and astral forms. The body gets put into a sort of hibernation state, and the spirit is forced out. It also looks like this process can maintain that state of separation indefinitely. Now, that's a pretty horrifying thought. A discorporated body's supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard horror stories about ghost-walking mages getting trapped in astral space, unable to rejoin with their meat. I heard they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it's entirely possible that Flux-State has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. Winters pushes his chair back and slaps the table in front of him. This is why Adrian was always so cagey about the subject of Flux-State after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was still alive, even if only technically. Her body crashed down into the SOX, sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about any of this, of course. It interfered with the lie that they were feeding us, that the Firewing was dead and that everyone was safe, and that people should stop hiding in their basements and get back to work again. But privately, he always said that she was still out there, somewhere deep in the SOX. I'd always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So, what does all of this mean? It means that the stories I got from that ghost rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. It sounds that Flux-State is definitely alive, and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany is in deep shit, because if Flux-State is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna go get drunk. Fair enough. Green Winters looks younger than you've seen him, but from the way he's carrying himself, he's clearly drunk. But this is from 2033-05-15. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do. But you've got to drop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There is a camera cut, and you find yourself looking at a young, handsome Dr. Adrian Vauclair. He wears a slight smile on his face. Oh, they're talking, are they? What a terrible shame. Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You could lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hermie, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. Have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows that you killed the Firewing. Stopped. Not killed. Fine, stopped. Whatever. Winter swipes a bottle off the table in front of him, drains it, and drops it to the floor. Call it whatever you want, but Adrian, you're the only one who's still this obsessed with the damn things. There aren't that many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Vauclair's voice is quiet, soft. Such is the cry of the cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry. I'll smoke another cigarette. What's the harm? He doesn't see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Winter snorts. Now you're just being maudlin. Look, Adrian. Vauclair shakes his head. His smile has disappeared. You mock my words, Hermie. Within 5 years, corporations, even countries, will fall to those creatures. And the worst part is, nobody will care. Oh, people will tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two. but nobody will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth, and territory. And we, foolish, short-sighted mortals, will never get it back. Green Winters chuckles uncomfortably, raising his hands in the air in a supplicating gesture. Come now, Agent. Vauclair talks over his brother's interruptions. We could solve the problem, of course, but we, as a species, are unwilling to invest our energy into problems that aren't staring us right in the face. As it was with climate change, so it is with dragons. I've accepted that. But you can't ask me to stop caring about it. Winters shakes his head. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine, by all means, keep caring. Just keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Vauclair sighs. He looks incredibly tired. Yes, Hermie, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardize my credibility with the masses. Winter's expression turns serious. His voice lowers. It's not just your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talk, but sometimes... He pauses, shakes his head. Sometimes I worry that you're really going to go back to the SOX. Vauclair's tone softens again. Hermie, Winters cuts his brother off. A new intensity burns in his voice. Please, big brother, just drop all of this. Stop hunting the Firewing and start living your life again. If you won't do it for yourself, then for Christ's sakes, do it for me. Vauclair nods, then looks away from the screen. All right, Hermie. I'll try. Last one. A rattling sound fills the air as the disc grinds in its tray. A few seconds later, the screen fills with text. User, Jolly Green Winters, 154, human, Caucasian, muscular, okay. Age 50, looking for female, HED. Human elf dwarf. Human elf dwarf. Not into orcs or trolls, eh? Athletic, 25 to 30. 25 to 30? Yeah, okay. Also, is this the pic you posted? Because, man, do you not look good. I'm a fun-loving guy who's also a great listener. I love hiking, clubbing, and all kinds of pets. I'm looking for a cute, funny, adventurous girl who's down to party. I don't respond to profiles without pictures. No orcs, no trolls. Sorry, ladies. Okay. Fair enough. We definitely did the third DVD, right? Yeah, okay. Very interesting. Alright, Dietrich, you got anything for me, my guy? Back when we took on Humanus, you said that you fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. He nods and fishes in his jacket pocket for his flask. Alright, boss, we can talk about it. So I already mentioned that Berlin's punks and anarchists joined forces to fight off the racists, right? And after a long bloody fight, we beat them. What I didn't mention is how I figured into all of this. I'm an anarchist at heart, always have been, but at the time I fit squarely into the punk camp. I was 32 at the time. Messerkampf was still touring. Not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess I was sort of an elder statesman for the scene. When we rallied to fight the racists, my followers came along for the ride. Bunch of young kids, all full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. What the fuck was that? Oh my god. I was full of that good fight. I was full of that good old Dragon Slayer spirit, pissed off and itching for a fight. And so I led those kids into the fray. They won, they waded into the riot right alongside me, yelling and screaming with their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of the fight itself, boss, but I do remember the aftermath. A lot of the kids that followed me had grown up listening to my music. They had all of my attitude shadow, but none of them had my magic. And youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. I left the punk scene for all the reasons I told you, boss, but there was a bigger reason, and I saw it in those kids' broken bodies. This road that I'm on, it leads to the grave. I've got the power to make it a leisurely trip, but make no mistake, this is where I'm headed. Those kids tried to follow in my footsteps, and they wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay out of the public eye and stick to the shadows. My stint as a role model was ill-advised. Put any thought into what I said earlier? Yeah, boss, I have. It's an interesting idea, but there are risks. I'm thinking that this might not be the best time to approach him about it. He's the source of my magic, remember? And if our discussion turned into an argument, he could take all that magic back in a heartbeat, and then where would we be? From what you told me about the Dragon Slayer, I don't think he'd like the way you're talking. Since when has he ever encouraged you to back down from a fight? I can't justify the risk of you losing your magic now. No, yeah. Totally. You've got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down ever. Not even from him. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities, I guess you'd say. Taking on some deserving organization and calling off the hunt for something more impressive than the Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. I'm never really gonna bring down a corp or a polyclub all on my lonesome. He shrugs. But maybe that's not a bad thing. It'd take a lot of the guesswork out of life. I don't know, boss. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. Satyr Krupp. Honest to God dragon, yeah. You've already done some damage to Humanus. How about them? Could they be your new white whale after done with all this? Tempting. But like you said, I've already kicked the holy hell out of them. Twice. If I'm gonna do this, it needs to be a step forward. The Dragon Slayer won't be satisfied with me retreading old ground. Alright then, yeah, fine. Go after Satyr Krupp. They're led by an honest-to-God dragon. Huh. Well, that's certainly thinking big. Give me a second, I'll ask. He closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass. Slowly, a smile creeps across his face. Dietrich opens his eyes and turns to face you. Yeah, I think that he'd like this plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? The Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Dietrich's grin widens. He looks more at ease than you've ever seen him. Well, boss, I've got myself a plan, and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. You know, Dietrich, now that you've got a handle on your connection with the Dragon Slayer, you could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks could benefit from your experience. He nods. Yeah, boss, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit and fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. It's a good thought anyway, I'll keep it in mind. Nothing new about him. Nothing about the last run, okay. I guess he wasn't there. Anything new with Paul? No. Alright, Iger, you probably got some stuff, right? Iger glances up from repeating at the sound of your approach. Shadow, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried, and in a big way. Talk to me, Iger. Something's put you on edge. I want to know what it is. There was a long answer. Finally, she turns her PDA so you can look at the screen. This! The image that greets you is a hollow pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Shadow. And my contact spotted him and shot in Nest. That's a little too close to the cruise boss for comfort. I have been there. Exactly. I've seen what the Engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him here a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he was softening up after the Syndicate moved in. Shadow, I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town, it can't be allowed to happen again in Shot Nest. I mean, maybe the fact that I ended that whole situation peacefully could work to our favor here. Great, do you know who he's working for now? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Examples? Well, I know for a fact that he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a hell of a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's taken contracts with the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs for Tamanaus. It's a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a long moment. So, long story short, I'm gonna have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Fierschwingy situation. I get it. But I can't just sit back and let this happen. She shakes her head. I won't. Good hunting, I'll be waiting. Fuck that. Cruise boss at risk, too important. Dropped handle on the shoulders. Going with you. The cruise boss are at risk. This is too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person. I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, fearless leader. You're right. I could use the help. But the others, they can't know about this. This is gonna have to be a quiet job. 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off on my own. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Weinkeller. I've got a contact who's gonna join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step. Cool. So that's a side quest for Iger. Thoughts about the last run? Nope, I didn't. I should have talked to them all before I did Blitz's mission. Bit of an oversight. Could have gotten some feedback about the cyber zombie mission. Glory favors you with a weak smile, her expression cautious. You're suddenly aware of how very small she is. Hoy, Shadow. I've got to admit, I've been dreading this. So, now that you know what I've done, what I am, are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. No, Glory, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I want to check in and see how you were doing. Not great. Struggling. About how you'd expect. Left off. Questions. You've escaped from Harrow, but he's still out there. If you're looking for tones of the past, anything shutting him down. Are you looking for closure? A lot of sense. You got out of Fierce Duel, but Harrow's cult is still up and running. You've escaped from Harrow, but he's still out there. If you're looking to atone for your past, don't you think that shutting him down would be a good place to start? She holds her silence for a long time. Finally, she nods. Yes, I've been thinking about this for a long time, Shadow. And every time that I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. I'm glad that we're on the same page. Alright. If we're going to do this, we need to be clear on what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in that place. Lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then there's also Harrow to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it. And if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else, where we can't find him. And all of this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well. So I think we need to make a decision here, up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids, or take down Harrow? I don't think we can manage both. Freeing the kids should be our first priority. We raid Fear Stelle, round up the runaways, and clear Harrow's influence from their minds. Killing him will have to be secondary. Or we wipe out the cult, starting with Harrow. As long as he's alive, he can just start us all over again. We'll save any cultists that we can, but the ones that are too far gone will have to be put down. Yeah, no. He does need to die, abso-fucking-lutely. And if any want to be saved, I will save them. But if they're going in guns blazing, and I have to put some down, then I have to put some down. Harrow needs to die. I don't want any other kids hurt or killed. But Harrow, that bastard has to pay for what he did to me. She stops, as if suddenly unsure of herself. A moment later, a newfound confidence seems to seize her. She looks to you, and there's a fire in her eyes. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. You're damned right he does. Meet me at the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to the Schonbich. She nods. I'll see you there. So we've got a side quest with, we already did Dietrich's, we already did Blitz's, and now we have the other two. Alright, let's hit up the computer. No new messages. Jobs directory. Pending and active. Active as technology. Okay. Alice Fund still sitting at 40k. Yup. Could deposit money, but kind of pointless right now. Oh, we've got payday to post? No. Drogenkip banking woes. Looks like there's been a good old-fashioned bank heist in Drogenkip. One of those old defunded banks still had some funds in it, apparently. Whoever was responsible waltzed right in and transferred away a whole load of new yen. That's not all. A pal of mine has been contracted to do some work for one of the other lending establishments in the area. When he went in to meet with his contact, all that he found was a couple of shell casings and a troll-sized pool of blood. Huh. And I'd always assumed that banking was a boring job. Sounds pretty action-packed to me. You've got a break-in, a big score, what looks like a revenge killing, all of that, plus a steady paycheck. What more could you want? If you need me, I'll be putting in an application at my nearest savings and loan. Well, is that it? I do believe that's it, unfortunately. No other money to claim or anything like that. Let's go talk to Blitz. What's down there? Oh, probably the van. Yeah. So it's for Glories. Probably gonna do Iger's next. Oh, hey, Chief, you're back. And you've got the box, right? Yeah. Takes an eager step toward you, his hand extended. Give it here, if you please. Not just yet, Blitz. First, we need to have a chat about that whole meat grinder fiasco. Yeah, okay. Sure, we can talk about it. Do a little post-mortem on the op, that sort of thing. He tries on a smile. For my part, I'd say that it went great. I mean, mission accomplished, right? All's well that ends well and all that. If we ever do another two-man run together, I'm doing the planning. Got that? Yeah, Chief, I got it. He shuffles his feet. Hey, I'm sorry about that vault door thing. I'll admit it, that was an oversight on my part. So, anyway, was there anything in specific that you wanted to go over? Go on, I'm all ears. Sounds like you're in the clear with Hasenkamp. Do you have any other debts I need to worry about? Nah, nothing worth mentioning. And I mean it this time. We've been making good money, and I've paid off everyone else already. You've got nothing more to worry about from me. The vault door, the one that you forgot to account for. Was that really an accident? His mouth drops open. Of course it was, Chief. I'm shocked that you'd even ask. What'd you think, that I'd purposefully strand you in a bank vault? I mean, what kind of asshole would I have to be to do that? Wasn't part of your plan, then it was an oversight of that proportion, so you can see how that isn't much better, right? Sorry, Blitz, I had to ask. It's okay, Chief, I understand. Yeah, alright, Blitz, I guess you can have your damn box. Alright! Thanks, Chief! Blitz turns the box over and over in his hands, a huge grin on his face. Let's plug this puppy in and see what it does! With a series of deft motions, Blitz pops the plastic cover on an unused expansion slot in his cyberdeck and slides the mystery box home. A recessed LED light in the box goes from red to green. He boots up the deck, staring at the code that scrolls across its integrated display. Huh. Well, this is weird. Well, the data hard-coded onto this thing is jam-packed with comlink software. It looks like it has protocols for all of the major brands. Sysadmin level tools too. And there's something else. Slowly, a smile spreads across his face. This thing is like a master key for communication systems. With this box plugged into my deck, I could hack the comlink of just about anyone in the same room as me. How is that useful? He scoffs. Use your imagination, Chief. Just about every security goon in Berlin is wired to a comm system of some kind or another. If I can hijack those comms, then I can cause all sorts of confusion in the ranks on our runs. This is one hell of a toy. I can see what Grinder wanted it. Well, I can see what you want. Can't wait to see what you do with it. Yeah, Chief. Me neither. Emily search. Yeah, actually, I've made some headway. For the first time in a year, I've got a solid lead. I thought I'd looked everywhere. Between my old contacts and myself, we scoured all of M's old haunts, both in Meat Space and the Matrix. But what I never thought to do was dig for clues in my own cyberdeck. It seems so obvious now, but back then I couldn't see it. I mean, she was running from me, right? So why would she leave any breadcrumbs for me to find? Anyway, I did some housekeeping and I discovered something. On the morning that Emily disappeared, some information vanished from my cyberdeck as well. She did a good job of covering her tracks, but I can see the signs. She grabbed the file and ran. End of story. What kind of data are we talking about? No idea, Chief. I grabbed it on a lark when me and Emily were goofing around in the Matrix. The file was encrypted all to hell and I never could get it to open. I only took the damn thing because she told me not to. She said that security would be too tight, that I'd get myself killed. But I waltzed on in there and took it all the same. You should have seen me, Chief. It was a thing of beauty. I don't think I've ever been as much on my A game as I was that day. Blitz, where did you take this data from? A corporate database. You know, no big deal. Tell me which corporation, Blitz. Oh, you know, no one important. Blitz continues smiling at you for a few seconds, then looks away. I stole the file from As Technology. A tinge of red crawls into Blitz's cheeks. He shuffles his feet. In hindsight, it might not have been the best of ideas. You don't mess with the Azzies, Blitz. Everyone knows that, as we're about to go mess with the Azzies. Yeah, I guess. Emily wasn't too impressed either. Our only really big fight was over that stupid file. Anyway, time passed. Eventually we made up and laughed the whole thing off. Or at least I thought we did. Truth be told, I forgot all about it until I realized that the data had gone missing. Alright, so the love of your life took your encrypted file and bailed on you. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know, Chief. This whole incident has me rethinking a lot of things. What if she took the file to protect the Azzies? What if she's with them? I've got to admit, this has me worried. I'm even more torn up now than I was before. He meets your gaze, and you can see the concern gnawing at him. I don't know what to do, but I'm open to suggestions. If she hacked your... I mean, I'm choosing the path that's going to get us another side quest, so... If she hacked your deck, you can't let her get away with it. Your reputation is at stake. Oh, you're right. I've got to pay her back for that. If this gets out, I'll never live it down. Her face flushes red. I can't believe that she did this to me. That everything we shared might have been a lie. Best of luck. Let me know how it turns out. I will, Chief. I will. Anything else with him? That's about the last run. Ah, good, more, because we've done more quests. Yeah, well, sort of. It's mostly speculation, truth be told. Well, I'll get on with it. After our talk, I went, literally 2 seconds ago, I went wading into all of the As Technology Matrix hubs that I could find. Nothing too deep, don't worry. I don't want to set off any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead me to Emily. And sure enough, I did. A message from the genuine article herself. She messaged you? Sure enough. Sent me a note. Want to hear what it said? Presses forward without waiting for a response. I'll tell you. The note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both of our sakes." So, I found her, but she wants nothing to do with me. Again. No explanations, no apologies, just a verbal pat on the head. I've shown admirable self-control. Really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. So did you play off like the message said? Hell no! I wasn't gonna stand for that. Where was she? Where did she get off? Stealing from me and then acting like it was my fault. I tried to trace the message like any good decorative would. I note your use of the word tried. He nods grimly. She's good, Shadow. Better than I ever thought she was. I couldn't trace the damn thing. I could keep digging though. I mean, if she noticed me doing it before, I must have been close. Now, before you say anything, I was more discreet this time. I can't be subtle if I have to. Nobody noticed what I was doing, and I did find another clue. I hesitate to ask. That's okay, I'll tell you anyway. I found a connection between Emily and Seda Krupp. So, do you think that she works for SK then? That she stole the encrypted data from you to give to them? Well, maybe. I don't know. It's confusing. I was also able to track down some message fragments connecting her to the Shockwell writer. So, maybe she was a Seda Krupp mole? And she got close to me that she could... I don't know, so that she could profit from my decking expertise? Maybe when she told me not to steal that data, she was using reverse psychology. Oh, it's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. He frowns and shakes his head. But then again, maybe she's with the Shockwell writer, and she's scrolling both the Aussies and SK over. If that's the case, then maybe she was with me because she genuinely wanted to be. He pauses for a moment, considering. Then all at once, he seems to perk up. His chest puffs out, and he nods once, decisively. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game, whether she's with SK or the Shockwell writer. I mean, she's gotten herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send me such a cryptic message? I don't want to be a dumbass. Can I save? Can I save? Oh, of course not. I want to say this because it's incredibly obvious, but I do want him to continue. You know what? Screw it. I think you should go after her. She's clearly in over her head. What if she needs you? You're right, of course. You are absolutely right. Besides, it's not like she can send me a distress call. Her communications are probably being monitored. I'll bet that she spent the whole past year waiting for me to come riding along to the rescue. Blitz claps his hands and rubs them together in excitement. Get set, Chief. You're about to witness an event. When my gung-ho personality and legendary skills come together, the whole world stops and takes notice. I'll give you a hand. If this is as serious as it sounds, you're gonna need help. No thanks, Chief. I appreciate it, though. This is something that I need to do alone. Besides which, I'm the best, remember? I know just the place to hit. That same as technology data node that I stole the information from in the first place. I already know that I can get past the security. My gut tells me that I'll find Emily there. Thanks for the encouragement, Chief. I knew that this was the right thing to do, of course, but you've helped to quiet any lingering doubts I might have had. He nods at you, an expression of supreme confidence on his face. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a damsel in distress to rescue. Oh, Blitz. You're such an idiot. But you're our idiot. Alright, so we've got 6 karma to spend. It's really not all that much, unfortunately. Can I up my ranged combat? Yes. Oh. No. Hey, now. There we go. And no. Stop it. Game. Let me exit the menu. Thank you. I want to go buy a better gun now. Because I think we should be able to. Where's dude? There's dude. Hi, dude. Okay. So, we currently have that for our sniper. Is that the best sniper we can have? I mean, I can get a SmartLink version of it. Can I get a SmartLink of the Walther? Yes. And then... already have a smart link of the Heckler. Is there a better one? There's the Colt. Colt. Colt is currently the best. Okay. We're gonna have to sell some weapons here. There's a better sniper for us. Okay, let's sell the grenade launcher. Let's sell the old sniper. And does that give us enough? It does. We want the Colt, I believe, right? Yes, because then it gets into shotguns. Yeah, take off the Heckler, please. So we do 2 more damage and have 2 more bullets in our capacity. That's not bad. I'm just going to sell the Heckler really quick. Boom. Love to see it. Alright. Well, my friends, that means that is where we are going to end things off for today. Next time, we will do Iger's mission, and that's probably going to be the whole episode knowing things. But if we have time, we'll get started on Glory's mission. For now, though, thank you to everyone for joining me. I hope that you had fun. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time for some more Shadowrun Dragonfall. Bye-bye.